In this episode, we journey into the scandalous and tumultuous history of the Rajneesh Movement, a controversial spiritual community led by the charismatic guru Bhagwan Shree Rajneesh, later known as Osho. Starting in India and eventually establishing a utopian commune in rural Oregon, the movement attracted thousands of followers from around the world with a promise of enlightenment and radical ideas on free love and communal living. However, beneath the surface of this seemingly idyllic community lay a web of power struggles, legal battles, and criminal activities that would culminate in one of the most shocking bioterror attacks in U.S. history. We'll explore the rise and fall of the Rajneesh movement, the key figures involved, and the sex cult's lasting impact on the world of alternative spirituality.
I'm Sammy.
And I'm Nicole,
and we are Spooky Sleuths.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Welcome back to Spooky Sleuths. We're bringing you a culty episode.
I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yeah, the Rajneeshees, they have a few different documentaries on Netflix, I believe.
Wild Wild Country.
Yeah, that one was wild, as is this whole episode. So buckle up, here we go. To understand the Rajneesh movement, we need to start with its founder, Bhagwan Shree Rajneesh, who later became known simply as Osho. Born on December 11th, 1931 in Kushwaha, India, Rajneesh was an enigmatic figure with a charisma that attracted followers from all over the world.
It's always those charismatic folks.
It's part of like the cult leader makeup. If
Yeah.
you don't have charisma, you aren't going to be a cult leader. Rajneesh's early life was marked by an intense intellectual curiosity and a rebellious spirit. He studied philosophy at the University of Sagar. Sagar? I don't know. We'll go. University of Sagar, and became known for his unconventional views on spirituality and religion. His early teachings were a blend of I am struggling to speak today. His early teachings were a blend of Eastern mysticism and Western psychological insights, focusing on meditation as a tool for personal transformation.
Okay.
By the 1960s, Rajneesh began to attract attention with his critique of traditional religious practices and his emphasis on personal freedom and meditation. You know, it's that New Age era starting to bloom, the love movement.
It's the hippie era.
Yeah. His teachings, often provocative, challenged societal norms and questioned the relevance of established religions. His followers, who were often seeking an alternative to conventional spirituality, found his messages of liberation and self-discovery compelling. The Rajneesh movement was not just about Rajneesh himself, but also involved several key figures who played crucial roles in its development and eventual controversies. Rajneesh, or Osho, was a central figure of the movement. His teachings, delivered through lectures and discourses, emphasized meditation, mindfulness, and a celebration of life.
All sounds really great.
Yeah, all of this sounds great for people wanting that, deep spiritual connection.
Yeah.
Without a certain higher power. It's just finding that power within yourself. It sounds
I would do
great,
it.
Right? It sounds perfect.
I mean, I've been very honest that I'm not really a Christian, whatever. So I would love that. Not having a specific higher power.
But getting to know you.
Yes, I would love it.
His approach combined elements of various spiritual traditions like Zen, Taoism, Hinduism, creating a unique synthesis that resonated with many. And it still would today if they would try again.
Let's hope they don't.
Absolutely. But you know what I mean? Like, that's really big right now, too, is the mindfulness.
Right.
The slow it down.
Demure.
And, yes, very mindful. One of the most controversial figures associated with the Rajneesh movement was Ma Anand Sheela. As Rajneesh's personal secretary and the chief spokesperson for the movement, Sheela was instrumental in the administration of the Rajneeshpuram commune. Her role became notorious due to her involvement in various legal and ethical scandals, including the Rajneeshi bioterror attack.
I can't wait to hear about that.
Swami Prem Naren and Swami Prem Ananda were prominent figures in the movement's management and public relations, because obviously they'd need a PR team.
Absolutely. What's a cult without a PR team?
They helped promote Rajneesh teachings and facilitated the growth of the commune. Their efforts were crucial in establishing the movement's presence in the United States.
Of course. They got to get that message out
Exactly.
about this free-loving community.
I mean, it sounds perfect, but let me tell you how it's not.
I'm not all for the free-loving part.
In 1981, Rajneesh and his followers embarked on a bold venture by establishing a commune in Wasco County, Oregon. This commune, known as Rajneeshpuram, became the epicenter of the movement's activities and controversies.
Why Oregon?
I'm honestly not real sure.
Like, that is just the weirdest place you would set up a cult.
But if you think if they came from India, it would have been easy to get into Oregon by flying over the Pacific.
I don't know where India is.
Of course.
But still, like, who's in Oregon?
I mean, nobody. I think that's the point. Rajneeshpuram was envisioned as a utopian community where the principles of Rajneesh teachings could be fully realized. The commune featured a wide range of facilities, including a large meditation hall, which obviously they needed,
Yes.
a hotel,
Ooh,
a
for
hospital,
visitors. Oh.
and various recreational amenities. Its rapid expansion, however, soon brought it into conflict with local authorities and residents.
Of course.
Life at Rajneeshpuram was marked by a blend of Eastern spirituality and Western extravagance. The commune was known for its vibrant social scene, including dance and music events, which were integral to Rajneesh's vision of a celebratory and liberated lifestyle. The community's emphasis on meditation and personal growth was coupled with significant investments in infrastructure and luxury.
Oh, so he was getting their money.
You know he was. Despite all this, life at the cult had dark sides, naturally.
Of course.
When members arrived at the commune, they were given new names, which is pretty common in the culty side of things. Mm-hmm. It was confusing for children, but they had to learn their parents' new names anyways.
Oh, yeah. You'd probably get scolded.
Oh, I'm sure. At the very least. Kids also lived apart from their parents in a kid's hut.
A kid's hut.
Yeah, it's like, Weenie Hut.
I don't think it's like Weenie Hut and Weenie Hut Jr.
That's how I envision it. The kids' hut was an octagon bamboo structure with bunk beds, so they could pack more kids in.
I can't believe they couldn't live with their parents.
But if their parents were all up in the shebang,
They probably shouldn't live with their parents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They had a school on the commune, but it taught about free love rather than traditional subjects.
Oh, so no math, no science. Oh, science was probably a big no-no. No reading.
No history.
That's crazy.
Kids were also around the drugs on the commune. There was a lot of hash going around.
Not surprising.
And children would sometimes ingest it.
That's awful.
That's bad parenting.
Yes.
But then again, they weren't with their parents.
Yeah.
So that's
They weren't
bad
really
caretaking,
parented.
I guess. Adults participated in free love also. There was no such thing as monogamy, as orgies were a common practice on the commune.
Oh, love that. Love me a good orgy.
This is...
Not me personally.
Like, there's some things that we don't have to tell everyone.
Not me personally.
If you are interested, follow us on TikTok.
That's for the OF. Just kidding.
It's called Slutty Sleuths. I've got to cut that out.
Yeah, you do.
But I would say that's the big reason why kids were not kept in with the adults, which is not a bad thing.
No.
There was even a large orgy in a padded room that they showed on Wild Wild Country.
That's very strange.
Yes.
One, was this padded room just used for orgies? Because I feel like it probably is. What else are you going to use a padded room for?
It's to keep everyone safe.
They all just flopping around.
I mean, kind of. You would assume.
Oh.
Children would hear the orgies, though.
Oh.
And one former member described it as, you could hear people having orgasmic sex all the time. At night, like mating baboons, gibbons. It wasn't always consensual, though.
Of course.
Rajneesh would force his members to participate in sex through psychological pressure and violence. The group's motto was saying yes to life. So if you refused sex, you weren't saying yes to life and felt guilty, so you would do it anyways.
I don't think that's how that works.
That is not how that works. Let me say it again.
Consent is important.
And can be revoked at any time.
Absolutely.
If you still refused, you were assaulted.
Of course, I'm not surprised.
They have a term for this called samarpan, which means surrender.
That's disgusting.
And the word surrender makes it seem more like it romanticizes it.
Yeah.
You know, like I surrender myself to you, like a big love story. Like, no, that's not what that is.
Right. That's disgusting is what that is.
And disturbing. Group leaders encouraged this and claimed the women needed it to happen.
I'm sorry. No.
In no world does anyone, man or woman,
No.
need this to happen.
That is ridiculous.
The Rajneesh movement's growth was accompanied by significant controversies. Duh.
Of course.
And legal challenges, also of course, that would eventually lead to its downfall. The commune's expansion led to clashes with local officials and residents. Rajneesh followers were involved in numerous legal disputes over land use and zoning regulations.
I like that's what they're in trouble for.
Right? I was thinking, like, maybe they were trying to get their foot in the door legally somehow, and that was like, okay, here's how we can at least get in there.
Yeah.
The commune's efforts to influence local politics further exacerbated tensions, leading to accusations of corruption and manipulation.
I could see that.
In 1984, the movement was involved in a scandal that shocked the nation, the Rajneesh bioterror attack.
I want to know more about this.
Here we go. Followers of Rajneesh were implicated in a plot to spread salmonella bacteria in local restaurants.
Why?
Causing widespread illness among the local population.
Oh, God.
Because they were getting so much pushback because of the commune.
That is crazy.
They were trying to infiltrate local politics. So let's just get everyone sick.
That is crazy.
This attack was part of a broader strategy to influence the local elections and was a turning point in the movement's history.
Why? I mean, I understand why. You just told me why. But why?
Because Amon Sheila, was all about that power. Not that Osho wasn't, but Sheila was the spearhead.
She was, yeah. He was just there for the sex.
Yeah. In 1985, Rajneesh was arrested on charges of immigration violations, including fraudulent applications for entry visas.
Oh.
His arrest and subsequent deportation marked the beginning of the end for Rajneesh Param. The movement's influence rapidly waned, and the commune was dismantled shortly thereafter. The fall of the Rajneesh movement was swift and dramatic, precipitated by legal battles, internal conflicts, and public backlash. Following Rajneesh deportation, the Rajneesh Param commune faced a series of challenges. The community struggled to maintain its cohesion and purpose in the wake of his absence.
Mm-hmm.
Legal and financial difficulties compounded the situation, leading to the dissolution of the commune and the dispersal of its members.
So it's not a thing today. They're
Thank
not
goodness.
having padded room orgies anymore.
I mean people
they might.
probably are, but
no kink shaming, but
they're not forcing people to do
right.
so that we're aware of. After leaving the U.S., Rajneesh returned to India, where he continued to teach until his death in 1990.
That's crazy.
The movement's infrastructure and assets in Oregon were gradually dismantled, and the land was returned to its original uses. Rajneesh's teachings continued to attract followers, but the movement's public image was irrevocably tarnished.
Absolutely. You can't be a sex cult planting bioterrorism attacks and being involved with corruption and still have your reputation intact.
Right. Despite its controversial history, the Rajneesh movement has had a lasting impact on the world of alternative spirituality and New Age thought. The Rajneesh movement contributed to the New Age spiritual movement by popularizing meditation techniques and promoting a philosophy of personal freedom and self-discovery.
I didn't even think about it being at that time. It probably did influence a lot of meditation.
The modern stuff today.
Yeah.
Rajneesh teaching on mindfulness, consciousness, and the celebration of life have influenced many contemporary spiritual practices and thought leaders.
I'm sorry, but Rajneesh was not very demure or mindful.
Absolutely not. The dramatic rise and fall of the Rajneesh movement have been the subject of numerous media portrayals, including documentaries, books, and television series. Mm-hmm. These portrayals have contributed to ongoing public fascination with the movement and its controversial aspects. The most notable of these is Wild Wild Country that we discussed. It brought renewed attention to its story. They also did a follow-up to the Wild Wild Country and did one focused on where's Sheila at, where's Anon Sheila now. It was interesting too. The movement's legacy is complex and multifaceted. While Rajneesh teachings on meditation and personal liberation have had a positive impact on many individuals, the movement's ethical and legal controversies have left a darker shadow.
Along with all of the other sex stuff.
Right. The story of the Rajneesh movement serves as a cautionary tale about the challenges of building and sustaining a large-scale spiritual community, especially under the influence of a charismatic leader.
Who clearly has an ulterior motive. Ulterior motive.
To gain a fuller understanding of the Rajneesh movement, it's valuable to hear from individuals who were directly involved or impacted by it. Mm-hmm. Personal stories provide insight into the human dimension of the movement. Many former followers speak of their time in the movement as a period of profound personal transformation, which I can see that.
I can, yeah.
They describe experiences of spiritual awakening and self-discovery facilitated by Rajneesh's teachings. These accounts highlight the positive aspects of the movement and its impact on individual lives. Conversely, there's also accounts of disillusionment and betrayal among former followers.
Right.
These stories often focus on the ethical and legal issues that arose during the movement's decline, as well as the challenges of reconciling personal experiences with the movement's controversial outcomes. The Rajneesh movement remains a compelling and complex chapter in the history of modern spirituality. Its rise, fall, and legacy offers valuable lessons about the potential for spiritual innovation, the challenges of charismatic leadership, and the complexities of building a large-scale communal living environment. While we can appreciate the meditation, the self-healing,
right,
you can't back this cult.
That doesn't outweigh the trauma that it caused to people. Especially kids. I mean, these kids grew up with no education. Here, being around sex and drugs. I mean, yeah, the self-love part of it, it was probably really great for them. But the other stuff was not.
No, and that's a balance of scales that has no win.
And I'm sure there were people involved that did not necessarily consent to all of the activities that were happening. I mean, we talked about the surrender, but
even though they participated, they did not consent.
Absolutely.
They just didn't feel like they could.
They could, yeah.
What do you guys think? Have you ever heard of the Rajneesh movement? It's pretty wild. It's not one that I hear about all the time.
No, not at all. And I didn't even know that I'd heard of it, but I didn't even know it was a sex cult until we started researching it. And wowzers!
It was a wild, wild sex cult.
Yes.
If you guys made it this far, make sure you leave a
horse emoji, because I feel like Oregon has horses.
Okay, leave a horse emoji.
I don't know.
If you made it this far to the end of the episode, make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe. We would love to have you guys join our little community we're building here. If you are listening to us on Apple or Spotify, make sure you guys rate and review us.
Make sure to follow us over on TikTok and Instagram at Spooky Sleuths Pod.
And on that note, stay spooky, friends.